They say the female mind holds secrets, but during sex, some of those secrets can no longer be hidden, because even if a woman stays silent, her body begins to speak. And I'm not talking about pleasure. I'm talking about reactions so strange and so intimate that if men knew what was really happening, they wouldn't be able to stop thinking about it every time they touched her. For example, there's a muscular reflex that occurs in many women at the exact moment they experience orgasm. It's not what you think. No moaning, no pelvic movement. It's an involuntary micro-shiver in the toes. Yes, in the toes. The woman's sexual brain activates nerve endings in the extremities as if the whole body needed to release something deeper than pleasure. And most men never even notice. But there's something even eerier. Something that happens just seconds before a woman reaches climax. Her gaze changes. Literally, her pupils dilate as if the body enters a trance. Studies show that at this moment, the female brain shuts down the regions responsible for judgment, logic, and fear. The world fades away. Only surrender remains. And if that impressed you, what you're about to hear is not only more intense, but also more emotional. Some women feel an uncontrollable urge to cry right after orgasm. Not out of sadness, not out of pain. They cry because the body can no longer hold the emotional charge. It's a real neurochemical reaction. Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, all are released at once, and instead of laughter comes tears. They can't control it, and they don't talk about it. But there's more. There's a detail no man expects, because it's not in the moaning, not in the words, not in the movements. It's subtler and more powerful. It has to do with what happens after she's swallowed your semen. No woman can hide it because her body reacts, even if she tries to hide it. Her face, her pupils, her breath, her energy, everything changes, as if her body recognized that something was received. And it's not just physical. What happens is psychological and deeply instinctual. And yes, you'll understand it in just a moment. But first, a warning. The most shocking part is still to come. In the next few seconds, you'll find out what a woman truly feels when she swallows your semen, and why most men never find out what it actually means to her. And the most surprising thing is this. Not even she realizes she's doing it. Her conscious mind is entirely immersed in the waves of pleasure, in the subtleties of touch, in the cadence of breath, in the rhythm of your hips, in the scent of your skin, in the warmth of presence. But beneath that surface of awareness, her body, ancient, intuitive, unfiltered, begins to speak a language older than words. She arches her spine in a way that is not learned, not rehearsed. Her breathing shifts. A tremor ripples through her frame. And then something remarkably specific happens just after the peak. A nearly imperceptible contraction of a muscle most people don't even know exists. The pubococcygeus muscle deep in her pelvic floor. This small involuntary pulse is not random. It's a kind of Morse code sent through the flesh, interpreted only by the man who listens not just with his ears, but with his entire presence. A man who is not just there to conquer, but to feel, to connect. It's a language without grammar or vocabulary, one of pure impulse, direct from the core of her nervous system. And that language never lies. This moment, so fleeting, so delicate, so heartbreakingly honest, passes in a blink. It's invisible to most, but to the man who truly sees her, not just her body but her soul, it is unmistakable, a sacred whisper of truth between two bodies wrapped in something far beyond lust. But we don't stop there, because just when you believe you've seen everything, touched every depth, understood every sigh, something happens. A moment few men ever fully comprehend, and even fewer have the emotional courage to speak about. It's not a moment that can be scheduled, anticipated, or faked. It's raw, unfiltered, visceral, instinctual, and it arrives when she swallows your semen. Yes, that is the kind of moment society doesn't prepare us for. It's intimate, mysterious, unspoken, but incredibly real. Because the truth is, something shifts not only in her, but in you as well. You might not notice it immediately. You may think it's just another step in the physical act, but on a subtler plane, your energetic state changes. The exchange that just occurred was not just physical. It was chemical, emotional, symbolic. And in her, there begins a kind of internal firework, not localized to the genitals, but coursing through her entire somatic intelligence. Here's the first thing you need to understand. The female body reacts almost instantly to the biochemical signature of your semen. It may sound far-fetched, poetic even, but science is beginning to catch up with what ancient bodies have always known. Semen is not just a reproductive fluid. It is a carrier of over 50 biologically active compounds, a cocktail of neurotransmitters and hormones like serotonin, melatonin, oxytocin, prolactin, and a significant dose of testosterone. It also contains traces of your diet, your stress levels, your sleep quality, and your overall vitality. These molecules act as messengers not just to her body, but to her entire emotional system. They're not loud. They don't make announcements, but they speak silently, deeply, and they carry an imprint of who you are at that exact moment. So, what exactly unfolds within her the moment she receives that part of you? Most men have no idea. What they don't expect is that her brain can respond as if she's taken a microdose of a psychoactive substance. Not hallucinations, but shifts. Real subtle, potent shifts. Some women experience a sense of clarity, others a soft wave of calm. Some feel a dreamy euphoria, a sense of surrender so profound it borders on the sacred. And though they may never verbalize it, they feel it. Even if their mind doesn't register it, their body always does. But here's where it becomes even more fascinating. The most astonishing detail, the one men overlook, though it's right before their eyes, is what happens in her gaze. Within seconds, some women experience a measurable dilation of their pupils. This isn't coincidence. It's not a trick of lighting. It's a precise, involuntary signal from her autonomic nervous system, reflecting a moment of deep primal connection, as if her body is saying, "I've received you not just physically, but energetically. I've allowed you inside me, not just into my body, but into my most vulnerable layers. And if you're truly present, you'll see it. You'll feel it." It's in the softening of her face, in the way her breath lingers between exhales, in the shift of her posture. Some women bow their heads slightly, not in submission, but in emotional openness, as if offering something unguarded. Others smile, not with performance, but with a quiet inner peace. And still others look directly into your eyes with a piercing, almost unbearable intensity. A gaze that says something just happened between us that neither of us can undo, and none of them can completely hide it. But let's be honest, this reaction doesn't happen with every man, because not all semen carries the same message. When it comes from a body that is depleted, inflamed, stressed, malnourished, resentful, the body of a woman feels it. She may experience it as bitter, metallic, off-putting, not just in taste, but in vibe. And even if she doesn't say a word, her cells know. There is dissonance here. Her body doesn't lie. Which brings us to something essential, something every man needs to hear. If you want your semen, the most concentrated essence of your being, to be received not as a burden, but as a gift, then you must treat it as such. You must nourish your body with care. You must cultivate emotional clarity, physical vitality, and deep self-respect. Because your semen doesn't just carry your DNA, it carries your frequency, your truth, your trustworthiness, and yes, your power. And in the next chapter, we'll go even deeper. I'll show you exactly how to transform your habits, how to elevate your diet, your breath, your presence, in a way that not only improves the quality of your semen, but changes the very way she responds to you. Not out of obligation, not out of performance, but from a place of raw, unfiltered desire. A response born from instinct, from respect, and sometimes from that look that says, "I feel you inside me." So tell me, have you ever noticed a moment like this in a woman? Did she tell you with her eyes, with her body, with her silence? Share it with me below and subscribe to the channel, because what's coming next might change forever. How you understand your masculine energy and your ability to create not just pleasure, but profound, unforgettable connection.